Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, before we get started on today's reading, I just want to send out my heartfelt condolences to all the people who have perished on this tragedy of the helicopter and airplane crashing in Washington, D.C. And my heart especially goes out to the loved ones that are grieving today. I don't want this reading to be any kind of disparaging or upsetting to them or anybody who knows anybody on that was in this horrific accident. So there are some questions though, and I'm using the investigation deck to see if we can dig out some other information. Now, so everybody was like, well, let's see who's on the plane list and see if it was taken down on purpose. And it was a figure skating club, but there were two Russians on there. Okay, I don't want to put, too much into this. Now, also, they're saying that apparently there was a VIP on the helicopter. And one person survived, and they wouldn't name that person, and they pulled that person out, and apparently they eventually died in a hospital. Now, that's not unusual for someone to survive the actual accident and then die from injuries later. So I'm not going to read too much into that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two lines. I'm going to do the helicopter on top and the airplane on the bottom. And we're going to find out, did the helicopter drive into the airplane on purpose? Because that's exactly what it looked like. Or was it a malfunction of any kind of engine or electronics? Apparently you can activate those from the ground. You can control those helicopters from the ground, from a ground controller. Or let's see, was the airplane, was there a target in the airplane? Let's see what the cards have to say. So helicopter or airplane. Maybe it was both. Maybe it was a matter of convenience, that they were both at the same place at the same time kind of thing. Now, I just did a predictions for February, and I know it's not February yet, but there was one in there with a foreign agent on a commercial plane. That's what made me think of the Russian coaches that were on there. And as we know, a lot of spies are doctors. They come over in different industries, and they get a little bit of bonus from their home country. Did I say that out loud? Sorry. All right, so helicopter on top and the airplane on the bottom. Rumors behind your back, 3. They said there was 3 people on the helicopter, and right away they came out and said, none of them were VIPs. What a strange thing to say. Or there was no upper echelon military. This card here is showing the 3, and there was one that was more important than the other 2. I mean, all human beings are important, don't get me wrong. But a VIP in rank, or there was somebody on that helicopter. Rumors behind your back, and there is a rumor that there actually indeed was somebody significant. Ooh, judgment, harsh sentence. Wrong place, wrong time. Helicopter did not go to plan with the helicopter. Ooh, accident, plane. Look at that. I wanted out. Uh-oh. Purposely disappeared. Well, yeah, so the helicopter purposely drove into the airplane. Home search or house. So one of the 3 on the helicopter, they should search something in their house. Guilty. Distraction, not as it seems. Stalker, being watched. Oh. Hostage or trade. Chariot, vehicle or move. So that's actually the airplane. And the seventh card, evidence or statement. And the last card, there is a connection. There is a connection. Underlying, sun, yes, correct path. So maybe okay, we might have two things going on at once. Right off the top, it's the helicopter absolutely crashed into the airplane. I did not go according to plan. I wanted out. Distraction, not as it seems, hostage or trade, evidence or statement, rumors. So there may be some kind of evidence that is found when they do a home search on the three people on the three people on the helicopter. I wanted out. I'm wondering if hostage or trade. I wanted out. I'm wondering if somebody on the on in the helicopter, if it was like unaliving themselves, because it actually says right here, harsh sentence, accident. The card came out, accident, purposely disappeared. That helicopter purposely flew into that airplane, but there was something about it, guilty on the plane, stalker, being watched. It's almost like they chose that airplane, chariot. So yeah, there's the vehicle. It was at night. Absolutely, there is a connection. There is a connection. So it's almost like this person who was on this helicopter, wow, the clock agrees with me, and even the sun is saying yes, correct path. So there was, I think that they were possibly watching somebody on that plane. Guilty, stalker, being watched. There is a connection. So there is some kind of connection. Maybe it's just a goofy coincidence that they were spies on that plane. Or it says stalker, being watched. They waited for the perfect plane, found out the Russians were on there, and thought this is perfect timing because it's just a skating club. And it could even be they'll think I did this to take out the Russians. But this guilty and home search, I think if they, so home search or house, to me, that can also be like I know there's a card in here, it says digital evidence, but to me, that can also be like maybe at home there's a laptop that they find evidence on, but did not go to plan. I think there was somebody. I'm saying it right now, that helicopter did this on purpose, and there was somebody important on that helicopter, and there'll be evidence of that. I wanted out, hostage or trade, distraction, not as it seems. You know, you have to get your tinfoil hat on here and twist it a little bit, but I'm almost wondering if one of the pilots were MK Ultra'd. Right? Hostage or trade, distraction, not as it seems. You know, because we know the military uses MK Ultra. We know that for a fact. And with this, I wanted out, distraction, not as it seems, hostage or trade, they put the MK Ultra into the pilot's head, and it went into this plane. But there's something on this plane. They were watching. They were watching, definitely, because it says there is a connection. Might be a coincidence, but I'm with this stalker being watched and guilty, and there is a connection, and then the chariot vehicle or moved. There is something on that plane. There's a reason why that plane was chosen. So I think it's a combination of the two. I think there was somebody on the helicopter, and it was almost like they knew this plane was coming in. You have to remember, the reason they want you to board early is they send the manifest of all those passengers to the airport where you're landing. So they knew somebody was on that plane the minute before it even took off. I think it was from Kansas City. So they knew exactly what was going on. Maybe it was just a happy coincidence that couple. Let's find out if it is the Russian couple. I have that. Yes, you're on the correct path. Now, I'm not saying all Russians are spies. I'm not saying that at all. I don't know what they would be spying on. Maybe trying to get back into the Olympics somehow. Right? Russia's been kicked out of the Olympics and whatnot. Were the two coaches, the Russian coaches, were they actually spying for Russia in some capacity, whatever it is? Were they also spying for Russia? Or did they have a side hustle? The Russian coaches, were they spying for Russia? Please find me. Ooh, tied or restrained. The lovers, there they are. Heavy burden carried. Unaware of surroundings. Yes, they were. The lovers, heavy burden carried, tied or restrained. Yeah, they were. Please find me unaware of surroundings. Other people weren't aware that they were spies. Yeah, they absolutely were. They absolutely were. Heavy burden carried, tied or restrained. Well, the lovers, there they are. Yeah. This might be an international incident. What's the underlying here? Suspicious activity. What more do you want me to say? I think it's the coaching, the Russian coaches they wanted. They were suspicious of them. Perhaps that's what they're going to find at somebody's house. But we had the guilty. People were unaware that they were spies. Of course, that's what spies do. They're just there as figure skating coaches, right? Well, I don't know what else to say. I think this was a takedown, and I think that it was a combination of something was going on with the helicopter. Somebody on the helicopter, perhaps it was like a twofer, and it looks just like an accident. But when you look at that film, that helicopter was heading straight for that plane. So that's why I'm thinking the MK Ultra in the main pilot was MK Ultra, but there definitely was somebody on there who was of higher rank, 100%. All right, well, thank you for spending this time with me. That was easy. That came out so clear, honestly. I don't know what to make of it. It's so clear. It's like sometimes these things spook me out too. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.